It's really a shame that no matter how hard you try to ignore the superficiality of journalists and pretty much all walks of, I guess, news reporting, but in gaming especially, when you have websites like Kotaku and Polygon and now The Gamer, and this one, who just want to push the superficial nature of who's showing you things. In this article from The Gamer, lack of women at Summer Game Fest points to a bigger problem in the industry, a nonsensical, non-existent problem, but we just want to keep bringing it to light and get on our high horse and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and make it bigger than it actually legitimately is. Because, honestly, people who play video games couldn't care less who is showing them the video games. It's websites like The Gamer that like to point it out to you, and Polygon as well, but we'll get to them in just a minute. Summer Games Fest lack of women only reinforces gaming's troubling misogyny. There is no misogyny in gaming. You're making it up. You're so stuck on something that happened 8 years ago that was blown out of proportion and lied about over and over again that you have to bring this up just to make yourself look useful, to give some sort of justification in your existence. Summer Games Fest is a pretty big deal now, especially with the loss of E3, and nobody cares. We've been reporting on the biggest hits from the showcase, which is what you're supposed to do as a gaming website. That's all you need to do. Talk about the games. Who cares who's presenting them? I was most impressed with the Xbox presentation. Yep, so was a lot of people. And there were plenty of new and highly anticipated games to see. What we didn't see, at least at Jeff Keighley's opening ceremony, was a single woman. Well, I'm pretty sure there's applications for that that can show you all the nice, lovely single women that are interested in meeting you in your area. Host and organizer Jeff Keighley has been criticized for not having any women on stage, oh no, during the almost 2-hour curtain raiser showcase, in which a number of people were brought on stage for interviews. We saw Nicolas Cage, who talked about Dead by Daylight, and that just looks... It's funny to see celebrities getting into video games. It's becoming more mainstream, more and more, which is fine. I like to see Nicolas Cage overacting in a video game. That'd be fantastic. We saw Keanu Reeves acting in a video game, and Cyberpunk was great. I enjoyed the character of Johnny Silverhand. What do I know? Dead by Daylight, we saw Sam Lake talk about Alan Wake 2. Industry veteran Ed Boon talk about Mortal Kombat 1. I'm definitely excited for that one. And Brian Intihar to talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2. I didn't even play the first one. Keighley presented the whole thing himself because he started it. He created it. He made it. He runs it. It's his job. It's what he does. It's his baby. So, yeah. You're complaining because he didn't let anybody else take over the reins? Poor pitiful you. Unlike the Game Awards, where he has typically been assisted by Sydney Goodman. Here, there were no women to be seen, except in all the video games, which is what you would complain about if there were no female protagonists in video games. It's either one or the other. You find something to complain about. Oh, there's no women on stage. Complain, write articles like this. Oh, there's no female protagonists in the video games. Complain. Oh, there's no people of color. Complain. This is Jeff Keighley's show. He's the host. He shows it off. What is there to discuss? But let's continue. This was especially jarring compared to later showcases. Xbox was hosted by Sarah Bond. Oh, there's another article that's going to complain about that too. Don't worry. Xbox's corporate vice president of game creator experience and ecosystem. That would be Sarah Bond. Day of the Devs had plenty of women, as did developers' very surreal digital conference. It's not like women aren't making video games. Then what are you bitching about? Or that developers aren't diverse. Okay, so the host of a game show stayed the host of a game show. Well, they very much are, but you wouldn't be able to tell from Keighley's version of Summer Game Fest. Oh, no. Somehow it got worse. Oh, really? Somehow it got worse. Or is this just a situation you're blowing out of proportion and with nonsensical arguments to give yourself a reason to write an article? But hey, it gives me a reason to make a video, so I do appreciate that. Where was I? Keighley acknowledged that the all-male lineup was fair to criticize. Okay, in an interview with CBC, Keighley acknowledged, oh, you bitch, don't apologize. Don't apologize to these people. Don't ever apologize to these people, because it will never turn out well. Acknowledged that the all-male lineup was fair to criticize, but that a single woman had been due to appear at one point. Oh, just one? Actress Melanie LeBird, who plays Saga Anderson in Alan Wake 2. She couldn't make it due to scheduling conflicts. Quote, "We also want to be authentic to the games that are being presented." I'm losing my shit over here. "We want to be authentic to the games that are being presented on the show and the developers that are making them," Keeley said. So if she'd made it, we would have seen one woman on stage. Incredible effort. Gee, condescending much? This is on Keeley, of course, because he's the show. He owns it. He makes it. He does it. Oh, wait, I said that already, but some people just don't seem to understand. They want to find something to complain about. Boo. But it's also on developers to make an attempt to put forward marginalized employees for opportunities like this. Did you ever think that maybe they didn't want to? Maybe they have stage fright. Maybe it's like they passed on the opportunity because they're not confident on stage and in front of a camera and don't want to make their company look bad. Did you ever maybe think about that? Of course not, because you only see things in a superficial manner. Sex, gender, color of the skin, superficial. It was a shame to see established men in the scene like Boone, Lake, and Inthar all take up time on the stage when some of that time could have been given to women to talk about their work at the gamer show. Maybe they didn't. At least send a woman on stage. Oh, okay. So send a token up there. That's what you want. That is how superficial you are admitting yourself to be in this article. Let's see who wrote this. So I'm going to insult somebody. Tessa Cower. Tessa Cower, you want the industry and presentations like this to be nothing more than superficial tokenization to where, oh, we're going to trot a woman up on the stage to make ourselves look good, and she's going to say a few words or just stand there and be quiet, in which case you would write another article complaining about it. Make up your mind. At least send a woman on stage with them. Good Lord. Tokenization. But if you take a look at the entertainment industry, tokenization is what they're pushing forth over and over and over again. Superficial, heartless, lacking passion, tokenization. Huh. My goodness. At least, oh, I read that already. I wanted to see women being recognized for their contributions to gaming. They are already involved. It's just that for some reason they aren't given the opportunity to talk about their work. Yes, they are. One show out of, what, 5, 6, 7? One single show that focused on showing off video games. Or at least tried to. One show. But that's not good enough. You want everything. You want all of it, down to the last grain of sand. It's shameful. Oh, we're going to continue to insult people. It's a shameful but known fact that the game industry is largely a playground for men. Oh, here we go. As women attending expos like GDC. Oh, okay. Female protagonists are criticized for not being sexy or pretty enough, even when it has zero relevance to the story. No, they're criticized for being uglied up. That's what they're criticized for being. Intentionally made to look masculine, intentionally made to look far less attractive than the model that they are based on. They take a model, physical, human being, a woman who's attractive. They take her, they put her in the video game, and they take 5 points off of her attractiveness scale, 7 points off of her attractiveness scale. If we're going to get superficial, let's go all the way. While women's stories are being told in games, yes, they are, the industry is still hesitant to showcase women talking about the games they make. No, it's not. That's bullshit. That's false. Because let's go get on to this article from Polygon. Because if you're not complaining about one thing, you're going to complain about the other one. Xbox Showcase chose to lead with women as presenters, protagonists. The bar is low. Maddie Myers, of course, probably, never mind, not going to say it. The bar is low. The bar was low for Microsoft's Xbox Game Showcase on Sunday after Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest 2023 presentation on Thursday featured an all-male lineup. Because you just cannot satisfy people. You have a show that has an all male lineup. Let's write an article to complain about it. Let's denigrate Jeff Keighley. Let's insult him and make him look bad. Oh, no. Oh, but he did have a woman that was scheduled to be there, but she had to cancel. Oh, so you were just going to have one woman up there just to look pretty and just fill the space? At least send someone out there to be there. My goodness, you cannot be consistent. None of these complaints are consistent. None of these journalists, the so-called journalists, are consistent in their argument. No women. You could have at least had one out there. If you only, okay, we did have one out there. Oh, that was it? It's never good enough. And then if you have a woman out there, heaven forbid, if she doesn't say anything, or maybe she doesn't have anything to say, there's going to be a complaint about that. And now, in this case, primarily women at this, on the Xbox showcase. But let's see what else the article has to say. I think this is a short one. Far be it from me to clap for a big, oh God, Jesus Christ. Far be it from me to clap for a big brand for doing the bare minimum. Perfect example of what I was just talking about. You're going to call it the bare minimum. But the difference between the two shows was immediately obvious to everyone with eyes and the ability to respect the reality that gaming is an extremely diverse hobby. Yes, we know. It always has been. Here's the thing. It is dominated, at least the console gaming industry, is dominated by young men and boys, young men, adults, dumbasses as old as I am. It is. It is just a reality when it comes to console gaming. That's not saying that there are not female console gamers. Just like the mobile app market is dominated by women. Probably because of convenience and, what's the word? The ease at which you can carry it around with you in your pocket. And that's also not to say that men don't play fucking app games. I play them all the time to pass the time because they're quick and easy and they can be played anywhere. With consoles, you're able to dedicate more time to it, which is what men tend to do, especially when they start hyper-focusing on a game and all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you've been playing Forager since 5 o'clock in the afternoon and you don't know where the hell the time went. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Go play Forager. It's awesome. It's fun. It's also free on Xbox Game Pass. But articles like this, journalists like this, do not want to accept reality. They take console gaming and mobile gaming and they mix it all into one and seem to think that, well, that means there's more women in gaming or there's an equal number of women in gaming. No, you have to separate console, PC, mobile. These are three separate platforms, three very distinctly separate platforms. And not accepting that, not understanding that, and acknowledging that kind of destroys your credibility. Sarah Bond, corporate VP for game creator experience and ecosystem at Xbox, served as the introductory host for the show, opening with the rundown of 3 game trailers that kicked off the showcase. Let me guess, you're going to... each of which happened to feature a female lead, which is completely irrelevant to the game, to the article, to what you're talking about. Okay, all the games had female leads. So, are they good? All you're going to focus on is that they have female protagonists. So many people talking about it, focusing on female protagonists. I'm going to focus on whether or not the game is good. Is the story interesting? Is the gameplay interesting? Does it make sense? Does it work? How buggy is it? Look at his you, Starfield. Soon after that, the next presenter popped up. Melina Juergens. Melina? The actor who portrays Senua in Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice in 2017, and the upcoming Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. Oh no, another woman. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to get off that one. Just like SFG 2023, the full lineup of games on display at the Xbox Showcase demonstrated the depth and breadth of Microsoft's Xbox Game Studios projects and partners by including indie and AAA games and everything in between. But unlike SFG, the showcase also managed to signal to the viewers that it's not just men who are making these games, as well as curating and showcasing them. Shouldn't even be something... Yeah, see, this is the thing. This shouldn't even be something that's noticeable. Then why are you bringing it up? If you stop bringing it up, nobody's going to notice it. Nobody's going to care because, I said earlier in the video, when it comes down to who is making the games and what they're going through as far as crunch time, deadlines, work environment. Now, maybe the work environment as far as Blizzard's concerned and Activision's concerned, and of course Ubisoft and oh god, well, there's a few of them out there that not so pleasant work environments that there should be more articles about instead of talking about the game showcase and E3 and all this other stuff. Why don't you talk about what Activision and Blizzard and Ubisoft are doing behind the scenes instead of worrying about gamers are doing together? But anyway, people who play the games, gamers, casuals, especially your casual gamer, they do not know nor do they care who makes the games. There are some people who, if you take Hideo Kojima, a lot of people know his name because he's been in the industry for a very long time and has made some serious blockbusters and a couple of failures. So there's some people who know those names. But as far as the programmers, digital designers, set, all this other stuff, I've never cared. I cared like Richard Garfield with his games. Richard Garfield? I don't know if I'm mixing Ultima Online or Magic the Gathering creators up. Correct me in the comments, especially if you made it this far. Thank you very much. Unless it's a big name or the CEO or the franchise, the IP creator, most people don't care. They're not going to recognize these names. They want to know, is the game good? And then they're going to play the game. If the game's good, they could play 5 different games in a single franchise and still not know who created the game. To think that people care who the presenter is, whether it's a man or a woman, or who programmed the game, who did the lighting, who helped with the ray tracing, who helped with the models walking animation. We don't care. Websites like this, you want to blow these things out of proportion and try to make yourself look relevant when all you do is sound the horn for nonsensical, irrelevant, superficial complaints. And the only thing you succeed in doing is, well, first of all, giving me a reason to make a video and make fun of you, but you also send your website further down the path of obscurity. And I genuinely hope that doesn't happen because, if Polygon or Kotaku or The Gamer or any of these websites go away, I won't have anybody to point the finger and laugh at other than Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars. So keep me going. Keep giving me something to do, and I will forever be thankful. But one thing to complain about, not enough women, and then another article saying that it's all women, but who cares because it shouldn't even be celebrated. But whatever. Let me know what you think in the comments about these nonsensical arguments. I appreciate you making it this far. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I'll see you on the next one.